Hello, theater lovers. We typically gather together here in the historic Emily Woodruff Hall each year to unveil our upcoming season, perform musical entertainments, and share the latest headline news at the State Theater of Georgia. These are different days, though, so we're going to do it virtually this time. But we still have some surprises in store that we think you'll get a kick out of in our little show. First, I'd like to celebrate the leadership of Board Chair Sally Turner and the Chair of the Springer Board of Trustees, Frank Slide. Without their devotion and steady guidance, this strange and dangerous year might have turned out very differently. I'd also like to acknowledge the magnificent leadership of my colleague and friend, Danielle Varner, the Springer's Managing Director, who has spent every single day fighting for the survival of our theater since the day that COVID-19 threat emerged. Finally, the Springer staff. These people have proved themselves to be the most agile, creative, and innovative theater makers in America. Without their energy and creative spirit, the Springer Outdoor Theater Festival would not have even been possible. Your State Theater of Georgia is still under serious threat, but thanks to our donors and sponsors, we're still standing. 73% of our budget is supported by earned income, mostly ticket sales. So this has obviously been a trying time. We're not out of the woods. In fact, we could say that we are still very much in the woods. But we have a plan to reemerge from this calamity stronger and better than ever. Of course, we'll need your support and your involvement this year, which is why we're here with you now. So let's get rolling. First, I'd like to introduce Dr. David Levine, Chair-elect of the Springer Board of Directors and current Chairman of the Springer Society.
Hello, theater patrons and Springer lovers. My name is David Levine, and I am the Chair of the Springer Society and the Chair-elect of the Springer Opera House Board of Directors. And I'm privileged to be able to say a few words to you about the Springer Society and our exciting 150th anniversary season. We have been awed by how generous the community has been in this pandemic year to support our operation and to keep us going. Your contributions have made it possible for us to build an outdoor venue, to produce 8 outdoor productions, and to maintain our staff so that we're able to continue to serve the Columbus, Georgia community as we have for 150 years. I'd like to thank you again for your incredible support for the Springer and remind you, please don't forget the Springer Society when you make your season ticket purchases for our exciting 150th season. We need you.
I'm excited to announce that we will be adding a new star on the Springer Walk of Fame this year, Ruth Gordon. This Springer star was an actor, playwright, and screenwriter who had a glorious career on stage and screen. She won the Academy Award, Emmy Award, several Golden Globes, as well as the prestigious Women in Film Crystal Award for her leadership in expanding the role of women in the entertainment industry. Her career spanned 76 years, from silent films to Broadway, to the timeless roles she created in Rosemary's Baby, Inside Daisy Clover, and Harold and Maude. She also won acclaim as a screenwriter for numerous Hollywood hits, such as Adam's Rib and Pat and Mike, both starring Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy. Ruth Gordon appeared at the Springer in 1923 in a popular comedy of the time, The First Year, when she was 27 years old. This Walk of Fame star is dedicated in honor of a man who has become a giant in the story of the modern Springer Opera House. Newt Aaron first came to the Springer as the project manager of our 1998 $12 million renovation project. He wrapped his heart around the Springer and has played an integral role in its preservation and development ever since. As a National Historic Landmark, the Springer faces unique challenges, and Newt has used all of his knowledge of construction, engineering, and project management to protect this treasure for the past 25 years. Whether it was the construction of the McClure Theater, dealing with the devastating flood 2 years ago, or facing the ongoing and sometimes quirky challenges of protecting a 150-year-old theater, Newt Aaron has been an invaluable resource in preserving this grand historic treasure. I'd like to introduce former board chair and Springer Guardian, Newt Aaron.
Thank you, Paul, for that kind introduction. I really appreciate it. It's an honor for me to be here today, an honor to be joining a small group whose names have been placed with stars in the sidewalks around the Springer. All those in this small group have one thing in common: love of the Springer. Generous, passionate giving of their skills, their time, their resources, and their hearts to an institution they grew to love. And the more they were involved, the more they loved her. My story is the same. After working as a construction consultant in Columbus for 5 years, with the help of my colleagues and friends Rick Alexander and architect Ed Burdishaw, we did a proposal in the late 1990s for the Springer Building Committee, which was led by Chris Peebles, to help manage the Springer renovation. We were hired, and with hard work by all, the project was a great success. A great project has to have a great team, and we did have one of those. At the end of the project, where the owner, the architect, and the contractor have been getting together every week for 2 to 3 years, we stopped meeting. And when we stopped meeting, I went through what I call post-project depression. I missed everyone. So I jumped at the chance when Paul invited me to join the Springer board. Phyllis and I had moved to Columbus in 2003, and we were regularly attending Springer performances. So board service was a natural. When the McClure Theater and renovation of the 2 Second Avenue buildings for the Springer Academy were started, I left the board to manage those projects. However, after completion, I came back, serving ultimately on the executive committee and as board chair. We also helped manage the flood repair. All this has been done as a team that included Paul, Danielle, the Springer staff, the board and trustees, our architect Neil Clark, our contractor William Bray. I wouldn't presume to totally compare the challenges that we have collectively faced to military combat, but in facing those challenges, we have become a band of brothers and sisters, shedding blood, sweat, and tears to overcome them. I have loved every minute. Over the years, I have learned that the more you put into any involvement, and it's certainly true of the Springer, the more you will gain from that involvement. My work with the Springer Opera House and everyone connected to it have been some of the greatest blessings of my life. I would like to thank all in the Columbus community who daily support the Springer, and thank everyone at the Springer again for this star recognition.
Hello, I'm Sally Baker, the Director of Education, and I'm here to introduce the company class director kicking off this season's Children's Theater Series. Here's the incredible Rebecca Gossett to announce this summer's production.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Gossett, and I'm thrilled to be directing the first show of our Children's Theater Series this season, Winnie the Pooh, running this July in the McClure Theater. Join our friends Christopher Robin, Pooh, Eeyore, Piglet, and Tigger on their adventures in the 100-Acre Wood. This classic children's play is a beloved story that helps us remember the true meaning of friendship.
Hello, I am Shane Hall, and it is my great honor to be directing and choreographing the opening show of the 2021-22 main stage season with Shrek, the musical. Based on the Oscar-winning movie that started it all, Shrek is the hilarious family musical comedy about a big-hearted ogre, a blabbermouth donkey, a feisty princess, and a villain with a short temper. Part romance, part fantasy, and all heart, Shrek is the glorious story of acceptance, inner beauty, and the miracle of unlikely heroes. Here are Andy Harvey and Michael Stiggers performing Travel Song from Shrek the Musical.
Come on, Shrek, pick up the phone. Shrek! Shrek!
Hello? Hello?
Hey!
Donkey!
Hey, yeah.
Good to see you. I haven't seen anyone in over a year. It's been paradise.
Hey, I got great news.
Huh?
Shrek is coming back to the Springer. You know what that means,
not
right?
this again.
It's another road trip. Shrek and Donkey, back on the scene. Let's go. Sing a song, yeah, a travel song when you gotta go somewhere. 'Cause the fun is getting there. Yeah, oh what the heck, I must confess, I love a road trip. Sing a song, hit the trail. Forget the maps, forget the guides. Before you know it, you've made strides with me. Ha! And I know all I need all along is There's a path and a pile and a song, so I'm singing and I'm palling with you. Woo! Oh yeah.
Why me? Why me?
This is nice.
Tell me what was my crime.
Hello, Columbus.
It's chatty as a parrot, more annoying than a mime.
Feels so good to be back at the beach.
Why me? Why me? A simple answer would be fine.
This is good cardio.
Won't someone please send me a sign?
Hey, look, a sign. Shrek and Donkey back at the Springer once
See
again.
that? What did I do to deserve this honestly? This ass of mine is asinine. Why me?
Hey, Shrek, let's do a tiki-taki.
A tiki-taki?
I hear that's what all the kids are doing these days.
Why
Sing
me?
a song,
Why
hit
me?
the road.
A simple
It's
answer
the way
would be
to
fine.
get around. Before
Won't
you know it,
someone please send
round
me a
with me.
sign? What
And
did
I know what I
do
need
to
all the
deserve
more.
this
Is a path and a pile and a song, so
honesty? This
I'm
ass of
singing.
mine is
I'm
asinine.
with you.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
The first theater for the Very Young event is X Marks the Spot. Ahoy, matey! Join Captain Letter and his pirate crew who sail through the alphabet looking for missing treasure. Meet salty crocodiles and magical mermaids and follow the clues to where X marks the spot.
Hey y'all, Matthew Swindell here. It's my twisted pleasure to be directing a remount of the popular Halloween theater event we did last fall outdoors, Evil Dead the Musical. Since we'll be doing this production indoors in October, we'll be adding even more special effects, lighting and visual surprises, and an even bigger splash zone. 5 college students go to an abandoned cabin in the woods and accidentally unleash an evil force that turns them all into demons. It's all up to Ash and his trusty chainsaw to save the day. Blood flies, limbs are dismembered, demons tell bad jokes, and all to music. It's a hilarious song and dance horror story just in time for Halloween. Here are clips featuring the cast of our 2020 production of Evil Dead the Musical.
But all that changed when you walked through that door.
I was assigned to aisle 3.
And that is where you fell for me.
A love so strong it had to be.
Perfect retail harmony.
I'm sorry, Linda, but now you must die. Die, 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 die.
In hell we dance our own special way. Let's show them how we dance while our bodies decay.
Like Backstreet?
Not without a heartbeat.
Swing like One Direction?
No, that would waste all resurrection.
You can twerk like Miley?
I would adopt that high. Let's go to the style like that guy did. No, that's just stupid.
Jedi soul is like to get every song and lifting it together we do the Necronomicon. Necronomicon. Come on and do the Necronomicon.
We died twice before, but we're back for more. You can't stop the dead. It's the Evil Dead.
Hello, this is D.B. Wilbright, Associate Director of Education, and I'll be directing the Springer's Fall Children's Theater Series production, James and the Giant Peach. It's a tale of a magical peach, an imprisoned boy, and insect friends on an incredible journey. Roald Dahl's peachy adventure story comes hilariously to life in this delightful play that reveals goodness, wickedness, and the challenges of youthful dreams. The daring escapades of James Henry Trotter will fulfill the fantasies of anyone who's ever dreamed of escape.
Hello everyone, I'm Katie Underwood and I will be the director for the Springer's giant family holiday musical, The Wizard of Oz, the timeless musical adventure about a Kansas girl and her dog Toto who are scooped up by a tornado and carried over the rainbow to the land of Oz. On their way to the Emerald City to meet the great wizard, they join up with a scarecrow who needs a brain, a tin man missing a heart, and a cowardly lion who yearns for courage. With the guidance of the good witch Glinda, they defeat the wicked witch of the West and discover that there is really no place like home. Here is Mariella Olivio singing Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
How could we celebrate the 150th anniversary season without the most popular show in Springer history, A Tuna Christmas? Since 2001, over 50,000 otherwise normal people have spent perfectly good money to celebrate their holidays by watching two amazing actors portray the 21 twisted inhabitants of Tuna, Texas in a hilarious, quick-change comedy sensation that has become a true cult favorite for Columbus audiences. The annual yard display contest has been plagued by a bandit known only as the Christmas Phantom. Socialite Vera Karp hopes to win for the 15th year in a row, but she has stiff competition from Dee Dee Snavely, the owner of Dee Dee's Used Weapons, and the sassy Tasty Cream waitresses I Need a Good One and Helen Bed. Aunt Pearl and Dixie DeBerry ain't saying nothing. Find out why people say it just isn't Christmas without a Tuna Christmas.
Our next Theater for the Very Young event is a Springer partnership with the CSU Coca-Cola Space Science Center. A superhero for all seasons, Sam loves playing superheroes so much that she refuses to take off her favorite costume. But as the seasons change, even her superpowers can't keep her warm. Join Sam on her adventure to learn about seasons and weather in this out-of-this-world theater event at the Space Science Center.
This season, the Springer will shine a spotlight on the work of a rising American playwright with a rich Springer history. Natalia Temeskin grew up right here at the Springer Theater Academy, received her undergraduate degree in English at Princeton and her Master's of Fine Arts from the celebrated dramatic writing program at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts. Her plays have been produced in New York, Princeton, Philadelphia, Boston, Atlanta, and right here in Columbus, Georgia. She was recently a staff writer on the Netflix series Dear White People and is currently story editor on HBO Max's Julia. The Springer commissioned Natalia to write the next two plays, both of which illuminate the lives of genuine American heroes, Eugene Bullard and Ruby Bridges. The first will be an expanded main stage production of a show we premiered in the studio series in 2017, and the second is a world premiere staging for our children's theater series this coming season. It's my pleasure to introduce our featured playwright for 2021-22, Natalia Temeskin.
Hello, I'm Natalia Temeskin. As a playwright, I have the honor and privilege to share two amazing true stories that I've adapted for the Springer Opera House stage. Two stories based on the lives of Black American heroes. The first, a Columbus native who went on to achieve things he couldn't have imagined. Returning to the Springer after 5 years, Eugene Bullard's story is one of overcoming the odds in order to become one of the most astonishing figures of the 20th century. He exemplified what it meant to persevere during times of adversity and to always find a way to rise up, up, up.
Hello, I'm Keith McCoy, and it will be my great privilege to direct Ace, the Eugene Bullard story on the Springer main stage next January. He's the most astonishing American you've never heard of, and he was from Columbus, Georgia. Prize fighter, vaudevillian, jockey, jazz impresario, spy, and friend of European royalty. Eugene Bullard won the French Croix de Guerre at the Battle of Verdun and became the world's first black fighter pilot during World War I. The play that premiered in the Springer Studio Series in 2017 will get a full main stage treatment in the Emily Woodruff Hall as the Springer invites the world to discover this inspiring hidden figure, Ace, the Eugene Bullard story.
Hello, my name is Harriet Bullard White, and I am a very proud relative of Eugene Jacques Bullard. Eugene's father, William, and my great-grandfather were brothers. I grew up hearing the inspiring, magnificent, courageous stories of Eugene Bullard. This native son of Georgia, a great man who could seem to do all things impossible. And my dad would say, and he's a Bullard. My Aunt Daisy, who was very close to Eugene, would tell us stories and show us postcards that Eugene sent her over the years from Paris. She would also say to us, you're not from a shoddy family, and never let anybody tell you any different. And then she would tell us something that seemed impossible about Eugene and his accomplishments. And now on behalf of the entire Bullard family, we could not be more grateful and excited and proud of the coming Springer main stage production of Ace, the Eugene Bullard story. Thank you all so very much for sharing this unexposed, sequestered even, story of a great man, this native son of Columbus, Georgia. Again, thank you.
November 14th, 1960, a day that made history. Our next hero, Ruby Bridges, showed the biggest form of courage in the smallest way as a first grader at William Frantz Elementary School. Dressed in her Sunday best, Escorted by police officers, young Ruby was met at the entrance to her school by an angry mob blinded by their own ignorance, afraid of anyone who didn't look like them. Yet her tenacious spirit reminds us to keep our heads up, keep our hearts pure, and look forward to what happens next.
Hello, I'm Beth Reeves, and I'm so excited to be directing the world premiere of Look Forward, the Ruby Bridges story by my friend and collaborator, Natalia Temeskin. This is the true story of the extraordinary 6-year-old who helped shape history when she became the very first African-American sent to first grade in an all-white school, changing America forever. Set in New Orleans in 1960, Ruby eventually befriends students and teachers and lives out a faith that tells her to stand firm. Look at the world through Ruby's eyes and discover the true promise of America.
Keith McCoy here. In the spring of 2022, I am excited to announce that I will be the director and choreographer for one of the truly great musical theater masterpieces of all time, The Color Purple. This glorious musical adaptation of Alice Walker's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel spotlights Celie, a young woman whose personal awakening over the course of 40 years forms the arc of an epic story. With a joyous Tony Award-winning musical score featuring jazz, ragtime, gospel, African music, and blues, The Color Purple is a story of hope and the healing power of love. Produced on Broadway by Oprah Winfrey and Quincy Jones, The Color Purple is a triumphant theatrical treasure. Here are Jamila Leandra, Marcus Hopkins Turner, Rendell DeBose, Ishmael Harris McKinstry, Morgan McGee, Nakia Peterkin, Bree Walker, and Jordan Battle, performing the title song from The Color Purple.
Dear God, dear stars, dear trees, dear sky, dear peoples, dear everything, dear God. God is inside me and everyone else that was or ever will be. I came into this world with God, and when I finally look inside, I found it just as close as my breath is to me. make us feel old at all. I think this is the youngest I've ever felt.
Closing out the studio series next spring is a new musical celebration of an American original, Walking the Line, the Johnny Cash tribute. America's favorite Johnny Cash tribute stars America's favorite Johnny Cash, Scott Moreau, performing all of Johnny's biggest hits, Folsom Prison Blues, Ring of Fire, I Walk the Line, and A Boy Named Sue. Moreau portrays the man in black so convincingly, it will give you chills. When this man growls, "Hello, I'm Johnny Cash," you believe him.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, but I shot a man in Reno just to watch out die. Hey Porter, would you tell me the time? How much longer will it be till we cross that Mason-Dixon line? I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down.
Our final Theater for the Very Young event will be a partnership between the Springer and the Columbus Botanical Gardens. It's called April Showers. Sprout and Buzzy Bee are unlikely friends. Buzzy Bee can't sit still and Sprout can't grow. He's the littlest plant in the nursery and has always been a late bloomer. Little do they know that their friendship will give them both what they need to blossom next spring.
To close the door on the next Springer Main Stage season, I'm proud to announce that I will be directing the most requested show of all time, Steel Magnolias, the Broadway blockbuster by Robert Harling. The only thing that separates us from the animals is our ability to accessorize. Welcome to Truby's Beauty Shop, where all 6 eccentric small-town women prove they are made of steel as they share their hopes, dreams, and tragedies in this beloved celebration of enduring friendship. They tackle life challenges in a hilarious comedy that reveals the inner strength that binds them together and celebrates the enduring power of the human spirit.
Well, that's it, my friends. When we come back into the building next fall, we plan for this to be a landmark season. I think we've all learned that COVID fatigue is a thing. So we worked hard to devise a season that was full of joy, love, and most of all, healing. It's what the Springer has been doing for 150 years now, and we need for you to be with us. Please, subscribe now to this great season, and please, donate generously to the Springer Society. We need you now more than ever. See you next season, my friends. We're saving a seat for you. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for supporting Georgia's historic State Theater.
Hello, my name is Sally Turner, and I am the current chairman of the board of the Springer Opera House.
The Springer Society is the driving force behind the mission of the Springer Opera House. Each year, your contributions are funneled directly into our productions, educational programs, and preserving and protecting our beautiful national historic landmark. This year, the Springer is celebrating its 150th anniversary season, and we will continue to bring the best live entertainment Columbus has to offer. In commemoration of our 150th anniversary, you will see some changes to the Springer Society. Our donation levels will now be in multiples of $150. Any patrons who donate $150 or more next year will receive a commemorative keychain and special perks to be announced this summer. Thank you for your incredible support, and don't forget the Springer Society when making your season ticket purchases for our exciting 150th season. We need you.